Your attention, please. Welcome to the Knights Sports Arena at Southern Virginia University for today's Women's Basketball Capital Athletic Conference matchup featuring the Seahawks of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia University Knights. Respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity, vulgarity, racist or sexist remarks. No personal remarks towards players, coaches, or officials. Show that you know the game. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation and go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Jess Bird.
Our Father who is in heaven, we are so very grateful for this day and for the opportunity we have to come together and to enjoy this sport. And we pray that everyone will be able to participate safely and fairly. And we pray that we may be able to show good sportsmanship and that we will be able to enjoy ourselves. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for this facility and for all those who have helped us be here today. And we pray for our safety, and we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Seahawks of St. Mary's. At guard, a junior, number 4.
You are sitting in the best season house, and we are thrilled to join you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Sports Arena. I'm Chris Fly alongside Dawson Weidrich, here to bring tonight's women's basketball action between the Seahawks of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia Knights. Dawson, should be a really exciting one tonight.
Oh, it really should be. We got the starting lineups for the Seahawks right now. First, number 4, Janie Matheson. Janie Matheson averages about 10 points a game. We got next number 14, Katie Roby. Next one, number 30, Kobe Cheney, Number 33, Gina Seifert, who is the leading scorer of the Seahawks team with 10 points a game. And then number 44, Hallie Purcell. And then now, for your home team, your Southern Virginia University Knights. First one up, number 11, Corey Stout. They say dynamite comes in small packages. That is the case with Corey Stout. And the senior, number 12, Brindy Ballum. A great leader who is fearless in driving into the paint. And number 21, Savannah Christensen. The tall threat from the outside. And the senior guard, number 23, Alexis Barnes, the second leading scorer on the team with 10.3 points a game. And then the forward who's been the staple of this Knights offense all season long, number 40, Katie Garish. And like you said, Chris, it should be a very exciting game, especially considering it's the last home regular season game of the season.
Last regular season for this Knights team, and they get to end where they started it, here at home in front of Knights fans and Knights faithful. Very exciting matchup, Dawson. Going against a team they played earlier in this season where they came up with a win.
Yeah, they won by 14 points, and that was their second to last win in their 16-game winning streak before this past stretch of games. So now they've lost 4 of the last 6. It's been kind of a struggle, and scoring has been hard to be consistent. And so basically, coming into CSC play, they want to end the regular season on a high note. They want to go into the tournament with a win and make sure they have the momentum on their side.
Want to go into the tournament absolutely with that spring in their step. They've locked up the second seed so far, but do have an opportunity to grab that first seed back from the captains of Christopher Newport. If CNU falls today against Penn State Harrisburg, York gets a win over Mary Wash, and Salisbury beats Frostburg, the Knights can get that first seed. Seems inevitable, but anything can happen. Again, we have this miracle season for the Knights. See if they can keep the magic going. As the Knights start out on offense, at Dawson, of course the Knights will be looking to get it in to their big number 40, Katie Garrish.
Well, that's what's in their staple all season long. And I mean, that's worked from, so why not work now?
And Katie Garrish on the season averages 18.4 points and 13.3 rebounds. A great centerpiece for this Knights team. Last couple of games, she's put up the numbers, but the Knights haven't been able to get the win. Like you said, Dawson, losing 4 of the last 6. See if the Knights can get it done here on defense against the Seahawks. A 3-second violation against the Seahawks on their first trip down the floor. It'll give the ball back to the Knights. Neither team to get on the board in their first offensive possession. See if the Knights, led by Corey Stout, can change that narrative.
And that's some great post defense by Katie Garrish, who struggled in the last game against Mary Washington just simply because she was in foul trouble most of the game. And so it really limited her as far as what she can do on defense at the low post.
Christensen 3. That no good, but rebounded by Garrish. Knights get it back. Ballum 3. So Knights 0 for 2 from the three-point line. Now a jump ball call between number 33 of the Seahawks, Gina Seifert, and I believe instead of jump ball call, it's a 3-second call. I believe that's against number 40, Katie Garrish. So Seahawks get the ball back. That's my bad. And they'll get an opportunity on offense. This is number 4, Janie Matheson. Blocked by Garrish. But the Seahawks get another opportunity. Corner 3. That one finds its way to the cup. That comes off the hands of number 44, Haley Purcell.
And that was just unexpected. There's no way Katie Garrish would expect a post player like that to go outside and shoot the 3.
Great pass back out by Christensen. Barnes. Ballum drives baseline. Ballum dishes it down to Katie Garrish, but looks like it'll be another 3-second violation against Katie Garrish. Her second straight on 2 offensive possessions for the Knights.
Looks like these refs are very intent on looking at the post and making sure that these post players don't just reside in the paint.
And the referees for tonight's matchup are Tiffany Drayton, Kevin Brooks, and Ray Clark of the CAC. Seahawks on offense. Drive in. That looks like Christian got a fingertip on it. And now Corey Stout and the Knights. Another opportunity on offense. They're down 3-0 against the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Corey Stout with a 3 of her own. That no good, but rebounded by Barnes, and Barnes able to save before it goes out of bounds. Now Barnes taking it herself. A great elbow 2 for Alexis Barnes.
That's her contour range, that dribble drive right to about the elbow of the paint or the right around the free throw line. That's where she gets her money shots.
Seahawks back in offense. Seifert's quick 2, no good, but rebounded by Garrish. Stout. They'll say it's an illegal moving screen on Katie Garrish. So Katie Garrish picks up her first foul of the night, and that's the first foul we've seen of tonight between both teams.
Well, that was due to the fact that Corey Stout decided to hesitate on that screen a little bit. So Katie was about to do the roll, but then when she noticed Corey Stout was about to go back the other way, she stayed put, and so looked to the refs as a moving screen.
Seahawks on offense. Purcell. They'll say number 4 of the Seahawks, Janie Matson, stepped out of bounds in her drive to the cup. Give it back to the Knights. And Dawson, last time the Knights were here in Knight Arena, they faced off against a really good Eagles of the University of Mary Washington. And in that game fell, I believe it's 66-53 at the end of that game. What can they do this game against St. Mary's that they could have done better last game?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with ball movement and picking some good quality shots. I think that's been the Knights' main struggle in this 6-game stretch, where they've just struggled offensively. And just consistency, going with what works. And I think that really doomed them in the end. It was close up until late in the fourth quarter of that game.
The Knights on a couple opportunities at the bucket, not to get anything to fall. Seahawks still lead 3-2. Back out to Seifert. Seifert looks to back down. Christensen with a block. Off that block, picked up again by Seifert, but she stepped out of bounds. Give it back to the Knights. So a couple great defensive stands for the Knights.
And you're seeing the height for SVU really being an advantage for them so far. Not a whole lot of shots from St. Mary's making the way even past their hands, because it's going to be blocked straight down by both Savannah Christensen and Katie Garish.
Both plays for the Knights over 6 feet tall. Brindy Baum's drive no good. Picked up by Seifert and the Seahawks. The Seahawks take it back. This is number 14, Katie Roby. Gifted to Purcell. Purcell drives it on Garish. So Purcell's fouled on her way to the cup. She'll be sent to the line to shoot two. The only scorer so far for the Seahawks, Haley Purcell.
And that's difficult because that puts Katie Garish in a very tough situation. She now already has 2 fouls early on in this first quarter. It's kind of like against Mary Washington, where she had to play very conservatively defensively and offensively due to the fact that she had so many fouls in that game.
Dawson, I was just thinking the same thing. In the game against the University of Mary Washington, Katie Garish picking up, I believe it was 3 quick fouls in the first quarter and then playing the rest of the game. So she picks up 2 here against the Seahawks of St. Mary's, and she'll be taken out, be sent to the bench. And number 25, Malia Dye, takes her place. Score now 4-2. Haley Purcell with another shot at the charity stripe. So Purcell goes 1 of 2. Malia Dye picks up the rebound for the Knights. And now Corey Stout, we've seen her the last couple of games here for the Knights, starting at the point guard position. She adds that experience, like you like to say, Dawson. She's also a very good defensive spark plug. After that ball tipped out of bounds by the Seahawks. Savannah Christensen makes her way to the bench, and Amanda Wood checks her way into the game. Amanda Wood, one of the great three-point shooters for this team, so three-point shooter for three-point shooters. Savannah Christensen leads this team in three-point percentage, shooting 32.4%, and Amanda Wood not far behind her.
And that was an interesting situation just now. One of the refs was trying to say that it was off of Corey Stout out of bounds when it was obviously off of St. Mary's, but of course they corrected that.
After the correction, the Knights will have an opportunity on offense. Corey Stout just getting direction from Coach Adam Wardenberg. Final 10 seconds. Wood 3. No good. They say it's a foul down low in the paint. That'll go against number 25, Malia Dye.
And now Amanda Wood has a great three-point shot. We've seen that many times this season, but lately her and a lot of other Knights as well have really struggled from behind the three-point line. I don't know what it is, what's been happening, but the three-point line has been the Knights' enemy the past few weeks.
Enemy on both sides of the floor. They've had a hard time defending it in recent games. All started with Penn State Harrisburg, who lobbed over 63s at the Knights. And they haven't been able to shoot their own threes as well. So far in this game, they're 0-4 from beyond the arc. Need to find another answer as that last drive for the Seahawks picked up another 2 points. Score now 6-2 in favor of St. Mary's. Brittany Bellum shot no good. Rebounded by number 14, Katie Roby. Quick pass up. That ball is tipped out of bounds by Malia Dye. And now immediate timeout on the floor. Give Coach Adam Wardenberg a time to talk to his girls, telling what they need to do. They're down 6-2 against the Seahawks of St. Mary's.
And right now, I mean, early on they started out with some really great offensive looks, like they had that great baseline jumper opportunity for Savannah Christensen. But since then, they've kind of rushed some shots a little bit. You saw Brittany Bellum try to do a little loop of the ball in the paint, try to get it around people, hit the side of the backboard, and then you saw that shot there by Brittany Bellum again. And then just some shots that used to fall for the Knights back in their 16-game winning streak, ones that aren't quite going down anymore. So basically, the Knights need to finally figure it out. It's like, okay, we're not shooting like we're in that one winning streak. We're not shooting like that anymore. We need to find shots that we are comfortable with, that we practice every day in practice, and not rush our shots.
Dawson, it's not like on that 60-game winning streak that they were knocking down everything they looked at. They had their struggles. They were playing their brand of basketball, and like you said, so far in the last couple of games, haven't found their rhythm. In a little bit of a rut, this Knights team, especially in this game. They're 1 of 10 from the field, so 10%, and 0 of 5 from the three-point line. Meanwhile, St. Mary's 2 of 6 from the field, 33.3%, and 100% from the three-point line, 1 of 1. Again, score stands Seahawks 6, Knights 2. Seahawks were started with the ball. This ball will be inbounded by number 42, Christine McKee. So McKee inbounding, Dye defending. Gets the ball in, number 14, Katie Roby. It looks like number 21 for the Seahawks, Jasmine Scott, be fouled on her way to the basket. That foul call goes against number 23, Alexis Barnes. So Alexis Barnes picks up her first. Again, Katie Garish has 2. She's on the bench, and Malia Dye has 1. So fouls in abundance for the Knights so far.
Alexis Barnes was very surprised that foul was called, but especially when the whistle's blown, because the whistle seemed to be blown as the shooter was going up, not even at the point of contact, but as soon as she was about to go up. It was almost like they anticipated it being a foul almost.
One of 2 from the line. Score now 7-2 in favor of the Seahawks, but the Knights have an opportunity to get right back in it. That wild pass from Barnes, she'll pick it up again. Now fought for by both teams, picked up by the Seahawks. This number 44, Haley Purcell.
That was just a wild possession overall. Alexis Barnes saw a really small opening. She tried to fit it in there, and then it just went unraveled from there.
McKee with the drive. McKee against Stout. McKee picks up her own rebound. Puts it up again, but now the Knights finally pull it down. It's Corey Stout. Knights on offense, Stout. Barnes 3. No good. Rebounded by Dye. Dye now to right. Wood 3. Knights can't find it from beyond the arc. Now a jump ball call as Amanda Wood fought to get her own rebound away from number 4, Janie Matheson.
And like you said, nothing falling from 3. I mean, hardly anything falling for them right now. They're 1 of 11 from the field and 0 of 6 from three-point line. They've shot more percentage of three-point shots than regular shots so far, and I think they just need to limit that a little bit. They're getting a little bit too three-point happy, which doesn't really make sense right now because it hasn't been a friend lately. And so they need to just try to get some short or mid-range two-point shots or get inside of Malia Dye and get some simple offense going.
Dawson, to get these opportunities because Seahawks know the Knights haven't been shooting well from 3, so they're just giving it to them. Eventually it will start falling for the Knights. Now the Knights on offense. Sophie Wright. Barnes takes it in. That's stripped away by the Seahawks, but stripped back away by Barnes. Barnes dished it into Stout. Stout decides to kick it out and get the offense started again, but that ball is stripped away by number 21, Jasmine Scott. It'll be a jump ball call.
I believe they actually called a travel there on, that looks like a number 21, Jasmine Scott. As she got the ball, she was stepping back and had multiple steps.
Interesting call. Knights get the ball back. Corey Stout having to save that one in the back corner of her own side of the offense.
The Knights just need to calm down right now. They're too frazzled. They're operating too fast. They need to slow down and honestly take a couple breaths. I mean, that's a perfect example right there.
Another 3-second violation against Knights. That one going against number 25, Malia Dye. Dawson, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the 3rd or 4th one we've seen tonight already.
Yeah, the refs are really keying on that. Post players just kind of residing in the paint, not getting caught. And so I'm sure there was a meeting somewhere where they said, keep an eye on that.
Good pass in by the Seahawks, but that shot none doing. Rebounded by Wood. Again, score 7-2, entering the final 3 minutes of this first quarter. Knights on offense. Sophie Wright. Wood picks it back up. Alexis Barnes, who's second leading scorer on this Knights team, averaging right around 10 points a game. Great dish by Stout. And as Dye went up to the cup, foul call on the play. This foul call against number 14. That is Katie Roby. So Katie Roby picks up her first foul of the night. And Dawson, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the Seahawks' first foul of the contest.
No, you're right. And that was a great dish from Corey Stout. I mean, she knows very well with her height disadvantage that she can't just simply drive to the paint and expect to be able to throw up a shot. She's constantly looking for that assist down low. Look for that nice little behind, I guess, little behind the back, or not even behind the back, just a little side dish to Malia Dye, and it worked out for them getting to the free throw line.
So the Knights score their first point in what seems like an eternity. Malia Dye goes 1 of 2 from the line. Again, Score stands 3-7 in favor of St. Mary's. They'll say that ball was tipped by number 14, Katie Roby. Turn it back over to the Knights. And Katie Garish makes her way back onto the floor as Malia Dye takes a seat next to Coach Wardenberg.
And that was the right call. Corey Stout got in front of it, but she barely tipped it, and then it finally went off in number 14's hands for St. Mary's, Katie Roby. In fact, I'm not even sure if Corey Stout even touched it. She just disrupted it enough to where Roby wasn't able to catch it.
Just enough. Sophie Wright, step up two. That no good, but rebounded by Savannah Christensen and pulled back away by the Knights. Angel Tuasavera also checking her way into this game. Sophie Wright drive. Trying to dish to Garris. That ball stolen. I believe that's Seifert. And it is. Roby's three no good. Rebounded by Christensen of the Knights. Stripped away by the Seahawks. They will go off with the hands of Katie Garris and stay with the Seahawks.
Well, that's one thing the Seahawks are doing a great job right now is they have very busy hands. Whenever there's a rebound or a situation where the ball's right in front of them, they just attack and they go for it.
Foul
They'll call a push call on Knights number 14, Sophie Wright. And that'll send number 4, Janie Matheson, to the line to shoot a pair. First one doesn't fall for Matheson. Score stays 7-3.
There's a lot of frustration for Coach Warrenberg right now because he feels like there was a much more obvious version of that foul on the opposite end of the floor that was not called.
So again, another player goes 1 of 2 from the line. Now the Knights back on offense. Score stands 8-3. Only player scoring for the Knights so far is Alexis Barnes with 2 and Malia Dye with a free throw. Tuasavera's 3. That no good. Fall forward by both teams. Looks like it'd be a foul call on Sophie Wright. They'll probably call over the back.
I'm surprised there wasn't a foul called after the fact because number 30, Kobe Cheney, just basically threw Sophie Wright onto the floor.
It'll send number 30, Kobe Cheney, to the line to shoot a pair again for the Seahawks. Look at the top left side of your screen. You see number 12 for the Knights, Brindy Ballum, getting ready to check into this game. Cheney. First one good for Cheney. And Brindy Ballum checks to the game in for number 14, Sophie Wright.
And understandably, Sophie Wright was getting frustrated because while that over-the-back foul was justified, she just got slammed to the floor with no consequences at all. And that's just, again, a result of the frustrations that the team has been facing so far in this first quarter.
And Cheney misses her second attempt, I believe a line violation on number 21, Savannah Christensen, so she'll get another opportunity at the line. She'll make her third attempt, technically her second. Bring the score 10-3 in favor of the Seahawks. Angel Tuasavera makes her way to the bench. Alexis Barnes checked back in this game. No shortage of scores for this Knights team. Alexis Barnes, second leading scorer with 10 points a game, and Katie Garish with 18 points a game. So you think, Dawson, they can find a way somehow to get points on the board.
Absolutely. I think one thing, though, that the Knights have really had a hard time with, at least in the past few weeks, is scores from the bench. That's one thing that really they're outnumbered with against St. Mary's. They are outnumbered 32-4 as far as scoring, or bench points, I guess I should say. And that's something that the Knights used to have a lot of. You know, they had a lot of players come in, contribute. Of course, Katie Garish was the star of all of that. But now, lately, it's just been a select few that have been able to get on the board.
Pass comes into Purcell. Tough defense by Garish, but Purcell works her way to the basket. Good for 2. Purcell leads scoring for the Seahawks with 4 points on the night. Again, Seahawks lead 12-3. Barnes 3. No good. Can't be rebounded by the Knights. Instead, rebounded by the Seahawks. Number 30, Kobe Cheney. Seahawks on offense. Number 23, Cameron Mangold. Seifert drives. Seifert good for 2 off the quick floater.
The Knights need to be really careful right now. This is one of the situations where a team can either start stepping up or melt down.
That shot by Brindy Ballum, nothing doing. It'll go off the hands of a couple of Seahawks and stay with the Knights. Knights so far on tonight, again, 1 of 16 from the field, 6.3%, and haven't hit a 3 tonight. They're 0 of 8. Corey Stout inbounding. Gets it into Garish. Garrish kick out. Christensen 3. Got it! So Knights finally get a 3-point on the board. Savannah Christensen.
That is a spark that this team needed. Now they need to ride the momentum from that in the second quarter to really take control.
Knights down by 8, 14-6. Final couple of seconds of the first quarter. They try to get in Purcell. Nothing doing there. So as the first quarter ends, Seahawks have a 8-point lead over the Knights, 14-6. Leading scorer on tonight is Haley Purcell with 6 points and 2 rebounds. And the closest Knight there is Savannah Christensen with 3 points after that quick 3 she just hit before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, and again, just a tough offensive quarter for the Knights. I mean, all over the place. I mean, some tough calls, some tough situations. You know, a 3-second violation has been a huge factor so far, especially for Malia Daya and Katie Garrish. But one thing they need to do is just to not get flustered. That's one thing that this team has had a hard time with the past few weeks, past few games, is when things start to go down, they kind of hang their heads a little bit. And so you can't do that. With the championship mentality that Coach Warrenberg is bringing to this team, you need to keep your head up, keep playing like the champions that you know you can be, and keep taking the shots that champions take. And that doesn't always mean taking a lot of three-point shots. I mean, you've taken 10 three-point shots so far tonight. You've made 1. Savannah Christensen, again, with that great spark with a 3-point shot, which hopefully will lead to something in the second quarter. You need to take more consistent shots, and those three-pointers aren't the answer.
Nothing falling so far for the Knights. Like you said before, they're 2 of 18 from the field, 11.1%. Have hit 1 out of 10 threes, so 10% from behind the arc. Looking to get things started here in this second quarter. Found a little bit of success at the end there with the 3 from Savannah Christian. Wouldn't say it's a momentum shift or momentum builder, but definitely on their way to having good things happen. Checking now in for the Knights. Number 30, Kiara Ballum, runs that point guard position when Corey Stout is not on the floor. Quick pass to Christensen. Now the Knights on offense to start the second quarter. Barnes whips it in to Katie Garrish. Garrish can't get a hand on it. Picked up by Ballum. That second 3 by Savannah Christensen, good. So 2 in a row for Savannah Christian to get the Knights right back in it. They're down by 5.
I think Savannah Christensen heard my rant about 3-point shots, said, oh yeah, I can make them. Don't worry about me.
Seifert passes out. Quick drive, Purcell at the 3-point line. Seifert now. Seifert against Christian. Christian wins that battle. Rebounded by Barnes. Here come the Knights.
Great acrobatic catch by Alexis Barnes. Had to reach out her left hand to bring it into her with 2 defenders around her. Great job.
Christensen floater. That no good. Fought for by both teams. Picked up by Katie Garrish somehow. Knights get another chance and a full shot clock. Barnes' drive. Great right-hand drive by Alexis Barnes. Bring the Knights within 3.
Talk about a change of dynamic here. I mean, just 40 seconds ago, the Knights couldn't hit anything.
Knights now in defense, looking to keep it up. Purcell with a drive. Shot by Purcell, no good. Rebounded by Christensen. Knights to get an opportunity to get right back in it.
Looks like Katie Garrish got her hand on that ball a little bit to get the block.
Great pass from Ballum. Ballum with a 3, that no good. Rebounded by Savannah Christensen, though. Knights get a full 30. Barnes whips it into Garrish. Garrish puts it up with the left hand, and she's fouled by Haley Purcell. Send Katie Garrish to the line to shoot a pair. That foul goes on number 44, Haley Purcell, her first foul of the night. Katie Garrish, good on her first attempt. Shoots a really good free throw percentage on the season, upwards in the 70%. We'll just take a minute for number 44, Haley Purcell, to finish tying up her sneakers. We'll get right back in the action. Right now, the Knights down by 2, 14-12 against the Seahawks of St. Mary's.
And again, you talk about the turnaround for this offense right now. They're getting such good looks. I mean, yeah, you have had the 2 great 3-point shots from Savannah Christensen, which really sparked all this, but then you saw some great quality shots, the floater from Alexis Barnes and that post opportunity for Katie Garrish, which led to free throws.
Second attempt for Garrish. Garrish goes 2 for 2 from the line. Now the Seahawks on offense. Knights only down by 1. Knights down by 1 despite being down by 8 at the beginning of this quarter. Quick drive in by number 14, Roby. Seifert on her way to the cup. Ball knocked out of her hands. A foul called on number 23, Alexis Barnes. So Barnes picks up her second of the night. And now the Seahawks inbounding. Cheney inbounding. Purcell wide open. It'll be a charge call on Haley Purcell after knocking down Alexis Barnes with her hip.
Yeah, she backed up into Alexis Barnes and forced her to the ground. And when you try to clear out like that and it's that in plain sight for ref to see, it's going to get called almost every time.
Knights on offense. Brindy Ballum. Barnes. 2 no good. Rebounded. I believe that is Roby, and it is. So Roby and the Seahawks now on offense. Knights guarding. Purcell. Roby. 3-point by Roby. Good. Seahawks take a 4-point lead. 17-13 over the Knights of Southern Virginia.
And Roby's only got about 26% from the three-point line this season, and so she's going to put him up. They don't fall on that consistently, but it did just then.
Shot over the Knights, picked up by Savannah Christian, and immediately tipped into Katie Garrish. Knights cannot get it to fall. Open opportunities right under the basket. They definitely want that one back. Here comes Seifert. Seifert shot no good, but they'll call a foul on Savannah Christensen.
Well, in that last offensive possession for the Knights, if you're Katie Garrish, you're taller than everyone on the court right now. Well, Haley Parcel is the only one that comes close, within an inch. But everybody else, you tower everybody. You don't need to tip it up in the air. You have time to catch it, come down, gather yourself, and go back up and make that two-pointer.
Gina Seifert, the leading scorer for this Seahawks team. Haven't mentioned her much tonight. Only has 3 points in the night when you include that last free throw. Averages over 10, right around 10.2 on the night, or a night on the season. Seifert's second attempt. Seifert goes 2 of 2 from the line. Knights on offense, down by 6. 19-13 is the score, and here come the Knights led by Kiara Ballum. Barnes. Christensen with the drive. Dished it to Brindy Ballum. Alexis Barnes able to get that ball back. Be a foul call on Seahawks number 30, Kobe Cheney. So Cheney picks up her first foul of the night, and now the Knights get a chance to inbound. Alexis Barnes.
I think they called a reach-in foul when Alexis Barnes was trying to pass it in the paint, and they got batted back to her.
And just like that, batted back out of the paint by Seifert. That shot by Seifert no good, but picked up by both teams. Jump ball call as Brindy Ballum and number 4, Janie Matson of the Seahawks fought for that possession.
For a second, it seemed like we were in a WWE match there. Everybody was cheering for the fact that people were hitting the floor, and there's some excitement for you.
Quite the slam by Brindy Ballum. Now the Knights looking to have tough defense of their own. That pass by Roby finds no one, goes out of bounds. Failed to mention, Dawson, that Savannah Christian, before the inbound play, made her way to the bench, and number 20, Amanda Wood, took her place. Kiara Ballum up against Matheson. The Ballum sisters with a handoff. Deep 2 by Amanda Wood, falls in and good. 15-19, Seahawks still lead by 4.
I'm telling you, that mid-range game is going to be your friend. When the three-pointer is not, it's going to be there every time.
Seahawks now on offense. Stripped away by the Knights and picked up by Alexis Barnes. Stripped back by Matheson. Kiara Ballum. And as Matheson makes her way to the cup, she'll be fouled by number 30, Kiara Ballum. So Kiara Ballum picks up her first of the night, and Matheson will be sent to the line to shoot 2 from the charity stripe.
That would have been the perfect opportunity to try to take a charge right there, but Kiara Ballum was just trying to figure out where Janie Matheson was going with the ball. And at the last second, you can't really make that decision anymore.
Matheson misses her first. Now checking into the game for the Knights, number 24, Angel Tuasavura, and 23, Alexis Barnes makes her way to the bench. Angel Tuasavura, junior guard, standing a 5'6" from Leh, Hawaii. Usually a defensive specialist for this Knights team, but also knows how to find her shot on offense, Dawson.
And she really does. I mean, she doesn't get a whole lot of opportunities to shoot, but when she does, she makes them count.
Now Tuasavura drives in, kicks it out to Wood, great pass. Wood can't convert on the 3. It'll be rebounded by number 42, Christine McKee of the Seahawks.
Yeah,
What a pass. by Angel Tuasaver to Wood.
That was a fantastic pass, and I think Katie Garish has to be careful when she goes up for rebound. She's very close to getting called over the back every single time.
Very close, and must be mentioned again, Katie Garish has 2 fouls on the night. There's a great drive. I believe that was number 4, Janie Matheson. Bring the Seahawks up 21-15. 6-point lead for the Seahawks. Knights on offense. Brindy Ballum. Ballum whips it into Katie Garish, but Katie Garish can't find it. Now to go off the hands of Brindy Ballum and turn back over to the Seahawks.
Well, Katie Garish didn't use the backboard that time. That's just textbook basketball. When you have it at that angle, you have to use the backboard. She didn't, and therefore didn't go in.
Katie Garish only scored 2 points so far on the night, very far away from her season average of 18 points a game. For Dawson, I believe she had a very similar thing happen here in Knight Arena where she didn't shoot very well, and then in the fourth quarter she absolutely lit it up. See if we can get that a little bit sooner here in this game, but definitely want Katie Garish back in this game to score.
Yeah, when Katie Garish gets on fire, it's rapid. All of a sudden she goes from 2 points to 12 points, kind of like you said. She can do that very quickly. And so I'm not very worried about her right now as the Knights put together more of a plan to get the ball to her and get some more high-quality shots. I honestly can see her building that point total, I guess I should say, in the second half, or at least here in the next few minutes of the second quarter.
And with this timeout, we get to see the Spirit Squad of Southern Virginia University, the dance squad, and the great stunt squad behind them doing what they do to keep the Knights faithful here, engaged in this game, and root on their Knights. They really do a great job, Dawson.
Yeah, they do. They do a great job. They're always here. They always bring a lot of energy. They try to get the fans interacted into the game. And, yeah, again, like you said, they do a great job.
See if they can lift the spirits of the fans here at Knight Arena and lift the spirits of the teams on the court. Knights, again, they're down 15-21 against the Seahawks of St. Mary's. St. Mary's, correct me if I'm wrong, Dawson, but ranked last so far in the CAC. Knights ranked second. Again, they locked up that second seed position. They still have an opportunity to get it first, but a lot has to happen, including tonight. They have to get the win over St. Mary's.
Oh, they absolutely. I mean, but for as the game has gone so far, I mean, think about it. They only scored 6 points in the first quarter. And that is the entire difference in this game is 6 points. If they can just keep the offensive power that they've had in the second quarter throughout the rest of this game and stiffen up on defense a little bit, it should be no problem to put away this game. But again, you got to take care of business first.
Pass into Seifert. Nothing Amanda Wood could do about that one. Seifert gets the angle on Wood and puts it up for 2. Seahawks now lead 23-15. Also in the game for the Knights is number 10, Nicole Muse. Char Ballum 3. In and out, but rebounded by Garish. Muse drives. Muse gets fouled on her way to the basket. Be sent to the line to shoot 2. Nicole Muse.
Well, the drive ended up working out for Nicole Muse, but if you're in that situation, you're double teamed by somebody on the baseline, you got to look for a kick out.
Now the referees are deliberating on the floor, talking about what the foul call might have been.
Well, I don't think there's any question that it was on the shot. That's when the whistle blew, was when Nicole Muse was releasing the ball.
Interesting to see what they say here. All players lined up as if Nicole Muse was fouled on the way to the bucket. The unsportsmanlike call on Seahawks number 30, Kobe Cheney. So the Knights get 2 technical free throws.
Well, that's not the first time we've seen something like that from Cheney tonight. She was the one earlier who slammed Brittany Ballum to the. Oh no, actually it was she slammed one of the Knights players to the floor. Don't quite remember right now who it was, but she has done something like this in the game before. So the fact that they caught her this time is a good thing.
Now Amanda Wood makes her way to the line to these 2 technical free throws. Good on her first. Bring the score 16-23. So Amanda Wood, 2 of 2 from the line, all technical free throws. And we'll get this game back started.
And now you see number 30, Cheney, again taken out of the game, because when you're playing like that, it means you're frustrated about something, or I don't know, something's just not right in the head. So the coach for St. Mary's, Calhoun is going to make sure that she gets some sitting time to rethink how she's going to be playing this game.
Head coach for tonight, Dawson, like you mentioned, for the Seahawks, C.K. Calhoun, second season as head coach for the Seahawks St. Mary's, and for the Knights, first-year head coach Adam Wardenberg. Tuasaver able to get to her own rebound. Fought for between both teams. Be a foul call on the play. Interesting to see who it goes on. Amanda Wood came out with the ball, but will it stay that way in the end of it?
So grant the St. Mary's team some credit. They are a scrappy team, very scrappy, and so that's showing here as, again, they're getting very handsy, reaching in, and just honestly playing a little bit dirty, I might say.
That foul call goes against number 14, Katie Roby. So Katie Roby has 2 fouls on tonight.
And now the fouls have been far and few between for the Seahawks, but the fouls that have been called, they've been pretty obvious ones.
Pretty obvious ones. Amanda Wood misses her first from the line. Keep the score 23-17. Seahawks still lead. Like you said, Dawson, Seahawks, only thing separating these two teams is the 6 points that the Knights scored in the first quarter. Good on her second. Now the Seahawks on offense. Number 4, Janie Matheson, up against number 10, Nicole Muse. Pass out to Seifert. Seahawks on offense. Drive in, should be fouled on her way to the cup. Be an and one opportunity. I believe that's number 23, Cameron Mangold. And it is. Mangold found the way to the basket and be sent to the line to shoot one. That foul call goes to number 24, Angel Tuasavera.
Checking into the game for the Knights, number 12, Brittany Ballo. And the Seahawks, number 21, Jasmine Scott.
Checking in for the Knights now, number 12, Brindy Ballum. Mangold. No good on her second. Knights on offense, down by 7. Muse whips it all the way across to Kiara Ballum. Poked away by Brindy Ballum. Looks like it'll be a foul call on the play on Brindy Ballum. It will be. Brindy Ballum picking up the holding call. That's Ballum's first foul of the night. Give Seahawks another opportunity at 2 as number 23, Cameron Mangold, makes her way to the line for the second straight time.
And you just feel the tension between these two teams right now as we're approaching halftime. I mean, there's just been foul after foul. It's been tough, even if someone's landing on the floor hard or something like that.
They'll take it back to the spot because they'll say it was a loose ball foul, so no possession for either team. Won't send anyone to the line to shoot 2. Instead, Cameron Mangold inbounding instead of shooting 2. Matheson. McKee. Quick drive and put up, but that's no good. But rebounded by number 21, Jasmine Scott. Maybe a jump ball call on the floor. Possession error in the favor of the Knights.
That's the first time I've ever seen anyone shoot their own shot, fall to the floor, and still get their own rebound.
And Dawson get their own rebound while still being on the floor.
Exactly.
Knights on offense down by 7, 25-18. Muse with it. Knights working it around. Muse corner 3. No good. Fall forward, but rebounded by Amanda Wood. Ballum. No good on the 2. Rebounded by Garish. Garish gets her own rebound again. Katie Garish unable to finish right beneath the basket, smothered by Seahawks defenders. And now St. Mary's back on offense. This is Mangold met by Ballum.
And the Seahawks have not made things for Katie Garish, or easy for Katie Garish tonight, as she's only been able to muster up 2 points so far.
Blocked by Katie Garish on number 21, Jasmine Scott. Brindy Ballum of the Knights. Wood 3. That's no good. Rebounded by McKee. Knights so far picked up shooting a little bit, but not much as they would like to. Again, 5 of 14 from the field, 2 of 18 from the three-point line. And looks like number 4, Janie Matheson, stepped out of bounds in her last possession of the ball, but in the end amounts to nothing as the Knights get the rebound and they're back on their way down the court.
And the Knights need to slow down right now. Tensions are really high, and they just need to not get flustered right here, set up something up. That's a nice open shot.
Cole Muse now. Wood 3. Knights can't find it from three-point line, but they get it back off of the great offensive rebound by Garish. Put up some way, somehow by Brindy Ballum. Brindy Ballum fighting through 2 Seahawks defenders to get it off the window for 2.
Well, that's what she does best. She makes the most unorthodox shots that you can imagine sometimes. And then this turnover. The Knights having a lot of momentum right now.
Knights with a lot of momentum after an illegal screen by number 23, Cameron Mangold. Now the Knights back on offense. Kiara Ballum. Ballum corner three. No good. Rebounded by Garish. And Garish puts it up good for two and be sent to the line for one more. Katie Garish down on the low blocks.
Doing what she does best, getting offensive rebounds and putting it right back up for two. Again, we've talked about her on the broadcast. So she doesn't do anything fancy, just very consistent and does the simple things right, like that.
Katie Garish now with 4 points and 11 rebounds. Be sent to the line for another opportunity and one. That no good. Rebounded by Mangold. So Knights bring this lead down from 8 to 3. Knights down 22-25 against the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Charge call against Seahawks number 4, J.D. Matheson. Nicole Muse drawing the foul.
Again, when everything's going right like this, you have got to take advantage. The Knights only down by 3. I said within this last minute, they need 3 good possessions, solid, quality shot possessions to take this lead and just keep the defensive momentum that they've had in the past minute or so.
Knights keeping the streak when the game resumes. Knights will have the ball after that charge call on number 4, Janie Matheson. It'll force head coach C.K. Calhoun of St. Mary's to take a timeout and get an opportunity to talk to our girls. The Knights are coming back with strong momentum. They have the fans behind them. Everyone out here to support their Knights tonight.
And when things start going like this for the Knights, this arena gets extremely loud. It gets impossible to hear anything on the floor, sometimes even in the stands. You can't hear each other think. Sometimes even us, Chris, we have to really lean in close to each other to even hear what we're saying.
Definitely an electric atmosphere here in the Knight Arena when the fans get going. Now the Knights get going on offense. Kiara Ballum. Kiara Ballum, of course, sharing the court with her sister, Brindy Ballum. She'll find Brindy first. Wood deep three. Got it! Amanda Wood.
That's the clutch shooting that she is capable of. She's shown that time and time again. Again, three-pointers have been tough for the Knights lately, but in moments like this, that's when they can really shine with a three-point line.
Seaver picks it up off her foot. Seahawks on offense, tied 25-25. Pass into Mangold, and Cameron Mangold fouled. He's sent to the line to shoot two. That foul call against number 12, Brindy Ballum.
That's one of the situations where most announcers and most players and coaches will call that a good foul because that would have been an easy bucket. It would have taken away some momentum for the Knights. And so I can't say anything negative about that foul at all.
Mangold good on her first. Cameron Mangold so far on tonight 0 of 1 from the foul line, but now she'll bring it up to 1 out of 2. Also checking in for the Knights, number 21, Savannah Christensen. Mangold, second attempt. No good on her second. Rebounded by Katie Garish and the Knights. Final minute of this first half. Kiara Ballum.
We hear Coach Warnberg tell him to slow it down. He wants to make sure to take advantage of every single second possible to end this half.
Christensen deep two. That no good. Rebounded by Katie Garish and the Knights. Wide open down low blocks Amanda Wood. Great pass by Savannah Christensen. And Wood will be fouled and sent to the line. That foul call goes to number 33, Gina Seifert. Wood so far on tonight from the charity stripe. She's 3 of 4. Looking to up that percentage with these next 2 attempts. First one is good for Amanda Wood. Knights tied up 26-26. Must be mentioned that leading scorer for St. Mary's on the season, number 33, Gina Seifert, already with 2 fouls. But the leading scorer for the Seahawks tonight, again, is Gina Seifert with 6 points, tied up with Haley Purcell. Wood, second attempt. Good, so Wood goes 2 for 2 from the line. I know a host of Knights checking in for the final 20 seconds of the first half. So Knights take the lead 27-26, their first lead of the game, or at least since the very opening seconds of the first quarter. Seahawks on offense. Matheson met by Muse. Mangold puts it up. That no good, and Angel Tuasavera will watch it go out of bounds. Look at the bottom of your screen. See Katie Garish thinking about checking in for a second, but Coach Adam Wernerberg waving her back to the bench. They'll say it went off the fingertips of the Knights. So Cameron Mangold and the Seahawks have another opportunity to get points on the board. Seifert goes up. Seifert shot, got it up in time, but it won't fall. So Knights take the lead 27-26 at the end of the first half. Knights come back after outscoring the Seahawks 21-12 in that second quarter alone. Dawson standing in line with Coach Wardenberg. Dawson?
I'm with Coach Wardenberg. And, Coach, that first quarter offense was quite the struggle. What changed in the second quarter?
We just told them coming out of the second quarter timeout, just, hey, like, we just got to play together. You got to believe in each other, and you got to step into your shot and have confidence so you can knock it down, and we did that in the second quarter.
They absolutely did. And also in that first half, some scrappy basketball being played, especially by St. Mary's. How do you feel your girls have responded to that scrappy style of play?
You know, they came out and they kind of hit us in the face, and I feel like we've responded really well, especially defensively. We've got into them. We've caused a couple turnovers, and hopefully we can keep that up in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck. Chris, back to you.
Thank you so much, Dawson. And with that, we'll take a break for halftime. Knights take the lead at the very end, 27. We welcome you back to the Knight Arena as the Knights have a 27-26 lead over the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Again, I'm Chris Fly alongside Dawson Weidrich. And Dawson, tell us a little bit about what happened in that first half.
Well, let's start with the first quarter. First quarter for the offense of SVU was a struggle, to say the least. They had 6 points. Shots were not falling. Shot too many three-point shots, and, of course, that led to the missed shots. And so basically what they had to have happen was they needed a spark. And right at the end of the first quarter, Savannah Christensen had that three. And that just started this whole entourage of scoring. The Knights had 21 points in that second quarter, which helped them to get that 1 point lead that they have now. And so a lot of momentum shifts, also a lot of scrappy basketball, especially on the side of St. Mary's. They're very hands-on, reaching in. Like, whenever a ball's available at all in any way, they go for it. They attack it. And so basically the Knights have had to really make sure they have great ball security and make sure they don't turn the ball over and have it all loose around so that's easily stolen.
Dawson, you mentioned the scrapping. We saw that technical foul early in the first quarter against Cheney and the Seahawks. Well, the Knights have done a really good job of responding to that, not getting chippy on their own, but instead proving what they're worth on the basketball court. And I want to go back to those 2 quick threes by Savannah Christian that started this run by the Knights. We ended the second quarter with 21 points. The Knights haven't shot well from three at all so far. I believe it's well under 30%, well under 20% still, I believe. But spark plug by Savannah Christian to be able to go in there, hit those 2 quick threes, and get her team back in that. How much does momentum play within this Knights team that we've seen throughout the season?
Oh, a huge part. I mean, you saw the whole momentum with the 16-game winning streak. That was all momentum right there. This is a great team, but when you have winning streaks, you have a ton of momentum on your side, and it carries over game to game to game. But momentum is a funny thing. It can also only last for a couple minutes. And so basically they need to ride the momentum they had in that second quarter, use all the things they did well there, and implement it into this second half. And we talk about how important this game is. We talked about before how with CAC standings, the Knights have a possibility, very possible, well, a very slim possibility, but it is possible to get back to that top seed in this CAC.
Like you said, Dawson, the Southern Virginia Knights locked up that second seed so far in the season, but still an opportunity at number 1. But many things have to happen. A lot of wins have to. York has to win their game tonight. Salisbury has to win their game tonight. Penn State Harrisburg has to win over a steaming hot CNU. And, of course, the Knights have to win. So if those 4 wins can happen, the Knights can clinch that first seed yet again and get home court advantage to the entirety of the CAC tournament playoffs. And they definitely want that. They play so well at home with this Knight Arena. You just need to have that going to a tournament, and you're going up against a flaming hot CNU. Again, they're first in CAC right now, who's 11-1 at home, their only loss coming against the number 6 team in the nation in Messiah.
Yeah, so if you're a Knight fan, you're praying a lot. Praying a lot for some things to happen off of this court and also on this court to make sure they can lock up that first place of the CAC. Again, the percentage possibility isn't very high, but it is still possible. And so if the Knights could get that, like you said, they get home court advantage and just boost themselves and the possibilities to win the CAC that much further.
Of course, they need to get a win tonight against the Seahawks of St. Mary's. St. Mary's was number 15 on the win column for that 16-game win streak that the Knights have had. Welcome you back to the Knight Arena. The Southern Virginia Knights have a 1-point lead over top of the last rank of the CAC, Seahawks of St. Mary's.
And we talked about a lot of things in that halftime show, Chris, about how the Knights had a lot of momentum in that second quarter. One thing we failed to mention that we'll talk about right now is rebounding. The Knights rebounded so well in that first half. In fact, they had one less rebound, or one less offensive rebound than the Seahawks had total.
Seahawks having 21 total rebounds, and the Knights racking up 20 impressive offensive rebounds, most of them coming into that second quarter. As we get things started here in the second half, there'll be a quick foul call against number 11 of the Knights, Corey Stout. She says she reached her arm out and pushed off. To get things started, inbounding the ball, this is Cheney of the Seahawks. Roby. Foul call on the drive. Cheney making her way to the bucket, gets fouled by Katie Garish. And just like that, at the beginning of this third quarter, Katie Garish picks up her third foul.
And I tell you what, if there's one person that's unpopular in this gym right now, it is Kobe Cheney of St. Mary's. She has had many situations. In fact, she had that unsportsmanlike conduct foul in the first half by throwing down several players, and she had other situations that weren't called. And so, again, she's going to be one that the Knights are going to be really looking at and keying on in the second half.
And with that third foul, Katie Garish make her way to the bench, and Malia Dye will come in her place. And just to talk a little bit about Katie Garish, 4 points on the night, 13 of the Knights' 33 rebounds. Cheney misses her second. No foul call on the play, as it looks like it'd be an over foul call on number 44, Haley Purcell, but referees saying differently. And nevertheless, Knights on offense, tied up 27-27. Christensen, D2 by Christensen, no good. Rebounded by Cheney and the Seahawks.
I think the reason they didn't call that foul on number 44, Haley Purcell, is because she had her hands up, acting like she wasn't doing anything. And so that to the refs signify that she wasn't doing anything.
Be a quick turnover by the Seahawks. And on Knights, looking to get points on the board. Amanda Wood inbounding the ball. She'll come in for Savannah Christensen. It looks like she's having a little bit of a tough time with her ankle.
Yeah, she came off a little bit gingerly and made her way to the bench. Hopefully she's okay and that she'll be able to get back in this game.
Now Nicole Muse with the ball. Barnes back to Muse. Corey Stout drives it. Floater by Stout. Stout finds her way to the bucket. Good for two. Bring the Knights up 29-27.
Floater's in the main way that Corey Stout's going to get any points inside. She has to get off that quick shot before anyone else can get to her just because how short she is.
Nice now on defense, and that shot by number 4, Janie Madison, no good. Knights on offense. Wood with a drive. Wood dishes it to Dye. Knights on offense, working the ball around. Barnes corner three. That shot no good. Picked up again by the Knights. Amanda Wood getting her hands on the ball and then being fouled by number 33, Gina Seifert. I believe instead Gina Seifert, that call changed with number 30, go against Kobe Cheney. Knights inbounding. Gets it into Dye. Dye puts it up for a quick two. Knights bring their lead to 4.
Beautifully executed pick and the low post with Malia Dye and Amanda Wood. Pulled off to perfection.
Seahawks on offense. Purcell against Dye. Purcell with a dream shake, but Malia Dye said no, no. Knights now on offense.
Yeah, went way off to the side due to, I guess, the height advantage of Malia Dye and getting in there and putting her hands up.
And Nicole Museby fouled on her way to the bucket. That foul goes on number 33, Gina Seifert. Dawson, you mentioned the height advantage. Haley Purcell standing at 6'2", Malia Dye clocking in at 6 foot. The only person that has the height advantage over Purcell is Katie Garish. Nicole Muse to the line. No good on her first attempt. Nicole Muse now for her second attempt at the line. And Nicole Muse goes 1 of 2 from the line, bring the Knights up 32-27 over top of the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Now taking the ball to 4 is number 14. This is Roby. Roby guarded by Corey Stout. Cheney now with the ball, again guarded by Corey Stout. Seifert. Seifert drives in on Amanda Wood. Seifert puts it up, but no good. But Purcell able to get the offensive rebound and put it over top of the hands of Malia Dye.
And you saw that good positioning there by Purcell in order to get that left-handed shot in there.
Knights on offense. Muse corner three. No good, but she'll be fouled on that shot attempt. Be sent to the line to shoot three. That foul call goes to number 44, Haley Purcell. That's Purcell's third foul of the night. So her and Katie Garrish both wrapping up 3 fouls for their respective squad.
And that's a big problem for St. Mary's right now if you have Purcell in foul trouble, because she is by far the tallest player on her team. The next one's being 5'11". And that one's a senior, Kobe Cheney. That's the next tallest person on this roster for St. Mary's.
Not to mention that, Dawson Haley Purcell, leading scorer for the Seahawks team so far with 8 points on the night. Dawson, you mentioned Kobe Cheney being the next tallest on the Seahawks roster. She also has 3 fouls on tonight.
And I want to give you fans watching some perspective here as far as how they've started this third quarter as far as SVU is concerned. So far in the third quarter, and still 7 minutes left, they have 8 points. The entire first quarter, they had 6. And so that just shows you how much better the offense has been flowing for the Knights.
Knights have held the Seahawks to 3 points so far in this third quarter. And now Seifert looking to change that. Seifert with a great move down on the low post, puts it up with the left hand, good for 2. Wood 3. No good, gets her own rebound. Quick timeout taken by Coach Adam Wardenberg.
Yeah, it was a dangerous situation for Amanda Wood. She was in trouble of having a 3-second violation call on her, and then also she had no outlook whatsoever. Corey Stott was there, but she was right behind a defender, and so it would have easily been a turnover for the Knights. Good timeout by Coach Wardenberg.
Good timeout by Coach Wardenberg. Also given an opportunity to talk to Rogers about what they need to do. Dawson, you mentioned the scoring in this third quarter. Knights lead the scoring so far. Again, the opening couple minutes of the third quarter, 8-5. They held St. Mary's to 5 with that great shot by Seifert to bring them up. We'll go back to that second quarter. Knights outscored the Seahawks 12-21 despite only scoring 6 in the first quarter. They had the great shots by Savannah Christensen, but they also had great all-around team play. A number of good shots. Brittany Ballum with a great opportunity at the basket. Alexis Barnes finding her shot and finding her groove. So a number of Knights getting in a rhythm. Good signs if you're Coach Wardenberg.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, it's like the tale of 2 quarters. You know, mostly people say a tale of 2 halves, but this is a tale of 2 quarters for sure, because again, like you said, 6 points and then turn around and score 21. And you have 8 players on this Knights roster who are in scoring, and of course Amanda Wood has 10 points leading the team tonight, and that's Savannah Christensen with 6. And so you're getting everybody involved in this scoring effort, especially in that second quarter. That's recipes for success right now for SVU.
Josh, it's really interesting to see that St. Mary's have shot 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 66.7%. So numbers are technically in your side, but we haven't seen Kelly Jenkins so far in this game. She leads three-point percentage for the team, also leads in attempts. She averages right around 42% from the three-point line. Interesting, we haven't seen her play tonight. Turnover by the Knights, who's been stolen right back by Corey Stout. Knights on offense. Amanda Wood. Barnes couldn't save that one in time. Over and back.
That's one thing that Alexis Barnes sometimes has trouble with, is playing a little bit too fast. She tries to get a little too fancy, and right there was an example of that.
Nicole Muser wake her way to the bench as well as Alexis Barnes. And in for them, I believe, is number 24, Angel Tuasavera, and number 12, Brindy Ballum. Ballum guarding Matheson. Ballum, tough defense on Matheson. Push call looks like it'll go against Brindy Ballum.
Fouls on number 12, Brindy Ballum, their third personal.
Gotta admit, that was a little bit of a flop there on the part of Christine McKee as she was in there setting the screen, and as soon as Brindy Ballum touched her, she flails onto the floor. Of course, Christine McGee is 5'10", and then Brindy Ballum is only 5'5".
A little bit of acting on the play, but nevertheless, Seahawks on offense. McKee into Seifert. Seifert guarded by Ballum. Strong finish by Gina Seifert on Brindy Ballum. Now bring the Seahawks within 3. Knights lead 35 to 33.
One thing Seifert does a really good job of is just she doesn't avoid contact. In fact, she sometimes thrives on contact.
Amanda Wood can't get that 3 to fall, but picked up their own reel. And Malia Dye. And Dye with the great post move on the low blocks to put the Knights up by 4.
And a textbook step through that every post goes through every day of practice on position drills. You do that post move every single day, and she did it perfectly.
McKee's 2, no good. Rebounded by Tua Savara. Knights move the ball around. Wood with another 3. No good on that one. Rebounded by number 30, Cheney.
Amanda Wood hit the floor, and Coach Warrenberg's wanting a foul, and I don't blame him.
Roby now with the ball. Matheson. Matheson drives in on Ballum. Matheson fouled on her way to the cup. They'll say this shot is, or this foul instead is on the floor. Foul call goes against number 11, the Knights, Corey Stout. So Corey Stout picks up her second foul of the night, and with that, she'll make her way to the bench. And number 30, Kiara Ballum, will take her place on the floor. Behind the inbounder, you see Cheney, some rabble-rousers on the Knights fans dressed up in traffic cones, trying to distract the Seahawks team.
There's a first for everything. I tell you what, I've never seen people dress with traffic cones. I've seen bodysuits. I've seen, face cutouts of Han Solo, but this is a first.
Interesting to know where they got their hands on those. But now the Knights on offense. Knights lead by 2, 37-35. Tua Savara in the corner. Knights working the ball around. Ballum with the drive. Ballum out to Ballum. And Chiara Ballum with a good 3. Off the assist from her sister, Brindy.
Now just beautifully set up. Again, Brittany Ballum, the great dribble drive and kicking right out behind her to her sister, Kiara Ballum. Great offensive possession.
That quick 2 by Gina Seifert. She was guarded all over by Amanda Wood. Kiara Ballum now. Knights working the ball around. Tua Savara. Kiara Ballum with a drive. Kiara Ballum fouled on her way to the basket. She'll be fouled. Be sent to the line to shoot 2 for the Knights.
She shares some of the fearlessness that her sister Brindy has, and dribbling to the paint. Doesn't care who's on her or what the height advantage is. She's going to go in there and go up with it.
And that foul call goes to number 42 of the Seahawks. That is Christine McKee. So McKee picks up her first foul of the night, and the Knights have an opportunity to talk to one another during this media timeout.
And I mean, this is insane talking about the difference between these past 2 quarters and the first one. The great offensive work that the Knights been able to do just in this third quarter alone. They're winning the third quarter 13-11, have a 3-point lead. And I mean, the Knights just completely flipped the script. Some great mental toughness shown by the Knights, where most teams would just simply lay down and accept defeat. That's the way they played in that first quarter.
And Dawson, a big reason why the Knights are up in this game is the poor shooting from the foul line by the Seahawks. Knights have shot 80% from the charity stripe. Seahawks have shot 52.9. They're 9 of 17. 3 more of those shots go in for you, and you're right back in this game.
I mean, I tell you what, this is as far as it gets. You're late in the third quarter. It's a 3-point game. It's a conference matchup. Last game of the season for the Knights. I mean, doesn't get any more exciting than this, especially for these seniors this is their last home regular season game.
Last regular season game, but again, the Knights have clinched that 2 seed. So they're guaranteed a home quarterfinal matchup in the CSC tournament. Again, they want that number 1 spot. They're guaranteed the first round, and if they go on and go all the way to the championship, they'll stay here at home. Again, it's all relative because anything can happen in a tournament setting. And I'll get back to this game. Kiara Ballum will start things off by shooting 2 foul shots. Kiara Ballum good on her first attempt. Bring the Knights up by 4. Kiara Ballum now, second attempt. A great rebound by Malia Dye, and Dye can't finish on the wide open opportunity underneath the basket, but Dawson, with that offensive rebound. The Knights have the same amount of offensive rebounds as the Seahawks have total rebounds. Board dominance by the Knights.
Oh, it absolutely has been. I mean, if it weren't for that first quarter, the Knights would be winning by 15 with this. As you see that charge foul call. And like I said, the Knights just working so hard right now to get those extra rebounds, to get themselves second chances.
And that was a great play by Knights number 35, Lornalei Sua'ava. Don't say her name too many times in this broadcast. She's getting her shining moment now in the last regular season game. Again, Lornalei Sua'ava, a sophomore standing at 5'9" from Palmer, Alaska. Be a kickball violation on Seahawks number 14, Katie Roby.
Katie Roby's getting a little bit comfortable and familiar with the offense that the Knights trying to run. You know, dribble to the side, hand it off to a point guard, try to pass it across the court, set things up. She was right there ready to intercept that pass.
Knights down offense. Ballum to Die. Die to Sua'ava. Sua'ava taking a chance. Great pass by Sua'ava down to the block to Brindy Ballum. And Ballum be fouled on her way to the cup, be sent to the line to shoot 2.
The Tony Parker over the head pass to Brindy Ballum. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. It's just great team basketball right there.
Looked like Lornalei Sua'ava had eyes in the back of her head. Get things restarted now. Brindy Ballum at the line to shoot 2. Again, the Knights lead 41-37. So a 4-point lead, looking to add on that now. Brindy Ballum can't do it on the first opportunity. The Seahawks now putting in one of their leading scorer on tonight. Or instead, their second leading scorer in number 44, Haley Purcell. So 2 leading scorers for the Seahawks in. And Haley Purcell, who has 8 points, and Gina Seifert, who has 12.
And the thing is, she has 3 fouls, so she has to be really careful. The coach needs her for scoring, but she also needs to be very careful on the defensive side of the floor.
Dawson Gina Seifert also has 3 fouls. Madison pass into Seifert. Travel call called on Gina Seifert of the Seahawks. Give the ball back to the Knights. Kiara Ballum met by Matheson. Ballum getting things started off inside. Sua'ava with the 3. In and out for Lornalei Sua'ava, and then an over-the-back call on Malia Dye down on the blocks.
That's another thing that Malia Dye and Katie Garish are very guilty of some of the times. They try to poke it out, and because of their height, oftentimes they have to kind of reach over different players. And so that's one thing they have to be really careful of. As you see, Katie Garish checking in.
After that foul, let's send number 44, Haley Purcell, to the line to shoot 2 for the Seahawks. And Dawson, you mentioned that Katie Garish and Malia Dye love to poke that ball out and to get those offensive rebounds. They know they have scrappy players on the perimeter for this Knights team that when you poke the ball up, more likely than not, they're going to bring down a rebound. Purcell, second attempt. Good on her second shot. Now checking in for the Knights. Look at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll see Corey Stout coming in for number 30, Kiara Ballum. And Kiara Ballum's done a great job so far in her time for the Knights. Kiara Ballum, a freshman guard, standing a 5'4" from Chantilly, Virginia. Again, playing alongside her sister, Brindy. And Brindy is senior, so a senior and a freshman. Sister partnership for this Knights team. And now the Knights looking to get things started on offense. Lornalei Sua'ava. Great pass to Corey Stout, and Corey Stout getting it done in the corner.
Let's go! A great pass from Sua'ava to Corey Stout in the corner. Beautiful. This is, I love seeing games like this where things just work. The offense is fluid, and it's working for the Knights right now.
And they'll call a foul on Corey Stout. Say it's a block call. It'll send number 23, Cameron Mangold, to shoot 2 for the line. And Coach Adam Wardenberg arguing that should have been a charge call. Dawson, it needs to be said, 9 different players for this Knights team have made their way onto the score sheet. Leading those, number 20, Amanda Wood. She has 10 points on the night and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. The Knights play their best when they get a lot of people involved. When they get the bench points involved, it just works for them.
Now Katie Garish picks up her 14th rebound of the night and give the Knights an opportunity on offense. Corey Stout. Nicole Muse. Muse in the corner. Muse drives it. Muse puts it up and somehow a circus shot by Nicole Muse finds its way in the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah, it hit the rim just right, so it hit the top and spun over. Unorthodox, but it works.
It works, and it brings the Knights up 47-40. Quick shot by Roby, good for 2. 5-point lead for the Knights. Into Garish. Garish outside to Brindy Ballum. Brindy Ballum 3. No good. Poked away, rebounded by number 33, Gina Seifert.
You're seeing some great ball movement for the Knights right now as they're just pass it to the open man. And easily could have been a call to travel there.
Very easily could have been. And Dawson, you're not the only one that thinks that. Coach Adam Wardenberg furious with that no call. Madison able to gain her own rebound. Purcell for 3. No good by Haley Purcell.
And here come the air ball chants from the faithful here at SVU.
No surprise that the Knights faithful letting the Seahawks know every time they make a mistake. Coach Adam Wardenberg having a discussion, more like yelling at the referees, trying to explain why that was a no call on the travel on that last possession.
Yeah, it's simply he just wants an explanation. He saw a player go for the ball, roll around the ground, and 9 times out of 10, in fact, 10 times out of 10, it should be called a travel, and so he wants an explanation. And he feels like he hasn't been given one yet, and he feels like he has the right to, and he does.
And Coach Adam Wardenberg finally get an opportunity to talk to the officials after picking up the technical, which will give number 33, Gina Seifert, 2 opportunities at the line. Seifert good on her first. Knights have a 4-point lead. She'll look to make it a 1-possession game. And she does. Now brings the score 47-44. Knights only up by 3. And the Seahawks will get the ball back. Instead, the Knights will start back with the ball. It'll be Corey Stout dribbling the ball up for the Knights. Now Coach Adam Wardenberg skating on thin ice with the head official here tonight.
Well, I feel like his argument's valid. I mean, he didn't feel like any ref had come to him and explained why it wasn't called a travel. He questioned it. And he has every right to be angry about that.
Into Garish. Garish able to get it out to Brindy Ballum. Foul call on number 23, Cameron Mangold. They're poking the ball loose from Brindy Ballum.
Well, that's one of the 3 situations that could have been called a foul in that last play. I mean, the shot by Sua Ava. And also the situation where Brindy Ballum was trying to dribble in and got hit. So eventually it did end up getting foul, or called anyway.
Brindy Ballum will be sent to the line to shoot a pair. Brindy Ballum so far on the night, 1 of 2 for that last shot, make it 2 of 3. Bring the Knights back up by 4. Technically a 1-possession game with a 3-pointer made and a foul. And she'll make it a 2-possession game now. Knights up by 5. Matheson with a quick drive. Matheson puts it up. Rebounded by Lorna Suaava. Picked up again by Corey Stout. Interesting to see what the call is here. They'll say it goes off the hands of Corey Stout, and it'll belong to the Seahawks. So no foul call on the play on number 33, Gina Seifert, for pushing Corey Stout out of bounds.
Yeah, we've seen a couple situations like that tonight where they've let the players play a little bit, so in some situations they're not going to call as many fouls, and much to Coach Wardenberg's dismay, in a situation like that, they're just going to call the out-of-bounds call.
Quick drive by Seifert, met by Stout, and Stout to get the foul called on her yet again. So Corey Stout now moves up to 4 fouls on tonight. So Corey picks up her 4th in serious foul trouble. And Dawson, it feels like the 4th quarter with everything going on right now. But you look down at the clock, 21 seconds left to go into 3rd. We have a whole other quarter of basketball to be played.
And it feels that way just because of how late in the season this game is. And I mean, it's the last regular season game for SVU and I believe also for St. Mary's. And so, of course, you want to end the season on a high note. Like we talked about, the Knights wanted to get a win going into CAC play and having that momentum. Both teams want that so badly.
Seaford on the line to shoot another. Seaford has 14 points on the night so far. Look to make it 15. Can't do it. We'll say it's a line violation on the night, so Gina Seaford gets another opportunity to grab 15 points.
Yeah, Brittany Ballum couldn't believe it that it was called on her.
That the third opportunity rather for Gina Seaford is good. She'll pick up 15 points. That's a 4-point game entering the final 20 seconds of the third quarter. Stout with the ball. Stout with the drive. Real good by Stout. Picked up by Cameron Mangold. Seahawks. That's great defense by Nicole Muse to keep Cameron Mangold off the board in the final seconds of the third quarter.
I tell you what, these past 2 quarters for SU's offense have been amazing. We talk about the amazing second quarter they had with 21. They scored 22 in that third quarter. And, of course, they had to because St. Mary's had 19. They were playing well offensively, and so this fourth quarter should be very exciting.
Very exciting. Again, a 4-point game. The Knights up 49-45 against the Seahawks of St. Mary's. A must-win game for the Knights if they have any hope of clinching that first seed coming into the CSC tournament. Now we see the SU Spirit Squad making it on the floor. Joining them, the Rabble Rousers we mentioned earlier, doing their own stunts. Young men in the center getting equal amounts of cheers by the SVU fans here at Knight Arena.
Oh, this is great.
That's why they call it a barn, Dawson. You never know what's going to happen when you come play basketball in the Knight Arena.
I talk about how it's a first for me to see people dressed up in traffic cones. First time I've ever seen anyone stand on people dressed as traffic cones. Well done by those guys.
Well done by them and by the entire SVU Spirit Squad. Now the basketball team's making the way back onto the floor.
Relieving some tension that's been building up in this game, adding some flavor to it a little bit. So it's been exciting in every single way possible.
Exciting matchup. Nonetheless, look to get things started now as Amanda Wood inbounds the ball to Kiara Ballum. Knights looking to get things started. Brindy Ballum. Wood no good on the 2. Stripped out by Katie Garish. And back with the Knights. Ballum into Garish. Garish no good. Both players went up for the rebound. Looks like to be a foul call on number 10 for the Knights, Nicole Muse, after wrestling that rebound away for number 33, Gina Seifert.
What happened was Nicole Muse jumped up and realized she wasn't going to get the rebound, so she just stuck her hands straight up. And then the foul came when Nicole Muse's body went into number 33, Cyphers.
Knights lead 49-45. Seahawks on offense. This is Roby. Roby met by Kiara Ballum. Purcell to Roby. Roby with the fancy hands. Can't finish. Rebounded by Garish. Deep pass. Ballum thought about a 3. Elects to drive. Brittany Ballum up and under. Can't get it done, but picks up her own rebound. Can't finish. Right under the basket again. Brindy Ballum rebounded by Haley Purcell.
I love the drive. I love the energy. I love the effort to get to the paint. Just got to finish.
Great drive by Mangold. Rebounded by Garish. And Dawson, Katie Garish had 16 rebounds on the night and 4 points.
Well, if she's not going to get it done in scoring-wise, she's going to get it done rebounding, that's for sure, as she's done all season long.
Be a kickball violation on the Seahawks. Get things back started for the Knights. Again, leading scorer for the night so far is number 20, Amanda Wood. She has 10 points and 7 rebounds. And again, we've seen 9 different nights on the scorecard.
And with Amanda Wood, we've seen her get a lot of shot attempts she usually doesn't get, so she had plenty more opportunities to score.
Garrish gets it down in the paint, move her up to 6 points. Illegal screen call on the Seahawks. That goes against number 44, Haley Purcell. So Purcell picks up her 4th foul of the night.
And that puts, sorry about that, Chris, but that puts the Seahawks again in even more trouble. She had 3 before. They had to be really careful with her. But with being 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter, I don't see them really taking her out for that reason. I think just let her play out the rest of this game. She's done well for a team to help them at the post game.
Ballum 3. No good. Rebounded by Mangold. Roby.
Yeah, Brittany Ballum shot 6 threes tonight. Hasn't made any of them, but she's still willing to pull the trigger and help her team out.
6-point lead. Purcell 3. Purcell's good from the corner. Now be a timeout taken by head coach C.K. Calhoun of the Seahawks.
That's the second 3-pointer we've seen from Purcell tonight. And again, Katie Garrish, knowing she's capable of that, was running right at her to try and stop it, but to no avail.
And Dawson, this is a refreshing thing to see for the Knights. You're playing good basketball. You haven't done that in the last couple of games. Again, they lost 4 of their last 6. Must be really refreshing for both Coach Adam Wurdenberg and the fans and the players to be able to come out and play your style and not feel rushed. It seems like in the last couple of minutes they've played their game slow, methodical, and analytically.
Well, that's been deliberate, of course. I mean, we've had situations like in the first quarter where they were rushed so badly, and I mean, they ended up suffering because of it on the scoring side. And so when they've been able to slow things down, set up their offense, they've got open shots like for Amanda Wood and for Katie Garrish in that last possession. And everybody that's been able to get involved, it's all because it's been slow, deliberate offense.
Slow, deliberate offense, but no one player being the star so far. We mentioned it before. 9 different players have scored for the Knights. Only 8 different players have even been on the court for the Seahawks of St. Mary's.
And that just shows the input that these players on the bench have and have the potential of having in games like this. Something they've been missing the past couple of games, but using it to their advantage today.
Now checking in for the Knights, someone we haven't seen in quite a while on the floor, number 23, Alexis Barnes. Barnes so far tonight only has 4 points, 3 rebounds. So now looking to get her way on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, she had faced some frustration early on, and so it kind of threw off a little bit, but look her to step up with the senior leadership that she's capable of having as far as scoring is concerned.
Stout gets the ball stripped away. Both teams fighting for it. Katie Garrish on the floor. Jump ball called. Possession arrow in the way of the Seahawks.
Jump ball, possession arrow goes to the Seahawks.
And that's what happens when you rush your offense, when you try to do things too fast. It doesn't work.
Knights only up by 4. Seahawks get things started here. Inbound pass come from Cameron Mangold. Matheson now, met by Brindy Ballum. Seifert against Wood. Seifert puts it up, but it'll be a block call against number 20, Amanda Wood. So Amanda Wood picks up her first foul of the night, and it'll send Gina Seifert to shoot for the Seahawks.
Well, Seifert just does such a good job at getting to the paint. She's very aggressive. Drives no matter who's in front of her. She's going to find a way to the basket, and she does so that time.
Gina Seifert so far on the night, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. She'll make her first, make it 6 of 7. She goes 2 of 2 from the line, bring Gina Seifert up to 17 points on the night. Brindy Ballum into the paint, good off the window for 2.
Coach Warrenberg wanted to foul on that shot really badly because, well, again, Ballum had multiple players on her when she made that layup.
Knights up by 4. Roby quick shot, rebounded by McKee. Mangold. Hot hand, Seifert. Seifert, great work down to the post. Left hand, good for 2. Seifert now has 19 points. Alexis Barnes now for the Knights. Wood 3. Got it!
That brings her to 13 points. She has been the spark. She shot a lot. Not everything's gone in, but the points she scored have been huge for this Knights team today.
With that, that'll move Amanda Wood up to 13 points on the night. Seahawks on offense. Seifert. Down to McKee. Back to Seifert. Tipped by Katie Garish and stolen.
They tried to throw it over the tower, and of course that's not going to go anywhere.
That double team on Corey Stout will force Coach Adam Wurdenberg to take a timeout. His girls up 56-51 over top of Seahawks St. Mary's.
That's one thing I've talked about when going against a full court press is the defense is trying to draw you to the sideline, half court sideline area. That's where you're going to get trapped. That's where you're going to be in the biggest amount of trouble. And so when Coach Wurdenberg saw that Corey Stout was going in that direction, he knew that it was going to be trouble. So he said timeout and tried to regroup his girls to figure out better strategy. What they've done so far before that possession has been great. Pass to the middle to Katie Garish and pass it opposite. That's how you beat a press. You pass to the center, pass opposite. And that has worked, especially with that one play with Brittany Ballum getting that layup.
And Dawson, something needs to be mentioned. A great thing to see, again, the last regular season home game for the Knights team and the last regular season home game for these seniors. And every single senior on this team has gotten their name on the scorecard. Knights on offense. Leading scorer Amanda Wood. Whip it into Katie Garish. Wood 3. Got it! 2 in a row, Amanda Wood.
She's hitting her stride in the moment where she's needed most, where the Knights need to pull away. She's hitting those shots.
Give Amanda Wood 16 points. Now the Seahawks on offense. Matheson up against Ballum. Matheson drives it in, nothing doing, but Matheson, like we saw earlier with number 21, Jasmine Scott, gains her own rebound while being on the floor.
That's the second time I've ever seen that in my life. And yeah, Chris, like you said, the first time was early on in this game, that exact same situation.
Exact same situation. We thought we'd never see it again. But it'll force head coach C.K. Calhoun of the Seahawks to take a timeout. Seahawks down 8 points against the Knights.
And one thing, again, we're going to keep talking about. The Knights need to just keep this deliberate offense. Beat the press with passes, less dribbling, more passes to the center and to the opposite. And then you should be fine. You got a shooter heating up in Amanda Wood. She's hitting her shot, that top of the key three-point shot. You also got players like Katie Garish getting good positioning down at the lower post. You have these things available to you. Use them these last few minutes, and it should be simple to pull that out and win.
You mentioned Katie Garish. Katie Garish, 6 points, 17 rebounds, and 3 assists. So getting her name on the scorecard in every way possible. Ball tipped out of bounds by Corey Stout. Great inbound defense by the Knights. Look to do it again as Seahawks get another opportunity.
Yeah, she's not making it any easier on the Seahawks. She's going to make sure it's as difficult as possible for them to get it inbounds.
Shot by Roby, up and good over the tough defense of Brindy Ballum.
And tough it was. I was surprised that it even got over Ballum's hands.
Ballum drives it in. Ballum, nothing doing there, but has another opportunity. Brindy Ballum. Looks like they'll call a charge call on Brindy Ballum for lowering her shoulder. So turn over the ball for the Knights.
See, Brindy Ballum thought she was in the same situation she was a couple possessions ago, where she had the great shot of the layup, but she had 3 people in that area right there, and going in there was dangerous, and so they just needed to slow it down, and before they could set anything up, Brindy Ballum was trapped in the corner.
Now Janie Matheson taking things up now for the Seahawks. Brindy Ballum, let it be known, she has 4 fouls on tonight. Stolen away by Garish. Knights back on offense.
That's one thing that we don't always give Katie Garish a lot of credit for, is her ability to get steals. For as tall as she is and as much of a threat as she is, she's so sneaky with getting steals.
Speaking of steals, Seifert and the Seahawks picking up their own. Great fast break offense between Roby and Seifert. Nothing the Knights could do on that one. Knights still up by 4, 59-55. Corey Stout running things for the Knights. 4 minutes left to go in this game. Wood deep three. No good, rebounded. That's number 30, Kobe Cheney. Roby finds Purcell. Foul call goes against Corey Stout.
You're seeing some momentum shifting to St. Mary's right now. The Knights need to be very careful. They need to go back to what their deliberate offense is, and they need to make sure that they get back on defense because St. Mary's has shown they're very proficient in the fast break offense.
Need to be careful. And with that, Corey Stout picks up her 5th foul. She'll take her seat on the bench for the rest of the night. And Kiara Ballum comes in for her. Top right of your screen, you see number 10, Nicole Muse getting ready to come for the Knights. Senior for senior swap. Muse in for Barnes. Purcell at the line. Purcell hits her second. Purcell right now in the game has 13 points. Gina Seifert has 21 for the Seahawks. Wood finds an open Ballum. Nicole Muse not electing the three. Pass into Katie Garish. Garish goes up with the right hand, and then she gets fouled. Foul called against number 44, Haley Purcell. And Dawson, that's Purcell's 5th personal foul. So second leading scorer for the Seahawks team is done for the night. Ends it with 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist.
And not only a second leading scorer, the only person who can really match up with Katie Garish.
Garish no good on her first attempt. And like you said, Dawson, Purcell the only one that can match up with Garish. Maybe the Knights will notice that and feed Katie Garish down on low blocks. Garish goes 1 of 2 from the line.
I tell you what, though, I love the selfless pass from Amanda Wood. She's had a lot of great scoring today, but she had an open jumper, but she realized this is rushing it. I need to step out a little bit and get it to Katie Garish, and she did that.
Seahawks on offense. Matheson. Rebounded by Kiara Ballum. Great defense by Brindy Ballum on that drive. Knights need to get over. Kiara Ballum now setting things up for the Knights half-court offense. Ballum to Ballum. Wood fakes 3. Drive no good by Wood. Rebounded by Cheney.
I love the offense that they just had there. Some great ball movement. Just wasn't going to quite fall in that time.
Matheson. Into Roby. Final 10 seconds for the shot clock. Roby. Roby passes it in to McKee. A deep 3 by Cheney, no good.
Yeah, Roby was very lucky she didn't get called for a travel there, but wisely deciding at the last second to not shoot that shot.
Knights on offense. Muse. Knights taking their time, have a 3-point lead over top of the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Final 10 seconds of the shot clock. Ballum up, no good. Rebounded by the Seahawks. Entering the final 2 minutes of this game. Pass into Seifert. Be a travel violation on Gina Seifert.
Yeah, she actually put her hand underneath the ball a little bit too much for that carry. She's been close on that a couple times, but that time she was caught guilty of it.
Knights now on offense. Kiara Ballum, deep 3 off the window for 2. Bank is open for Kiara, or for 3 rather. Kiara Ballum.
My goodness, I mean, I don't care if she meant to do that or not, but that helps the Knights out in so many ways. Well,
Seahawks respond with a 3. That's Kobe Cheney. Keep this game to a single possession game. 63-60, final minute.
yeah, the Seahawks answering with a 3 of their own.
Amanda Wood now with the ball. Ballum. Carbound with a drive. 3, Amanda Wood. No good. Rebounded by number 42, Christine McKee. Entering the final 30 seconds of this game. Blocked by Nicole Muse. Great defensive stand by the senior from Nacogdoches, Texas.
Wow. I thought that was way too open middle lane. I thought they were going to get an easy 2, but Nicole Muse getting the nice swat at the ball. And fortunately, it stays in bounds for them to get it.
Stays in bounds. Then it was a foul call on number 33 of the Seahawks, Gina Seifert. So Seifert picks up her 4th. Seahawks having the foul now. Number 4, Janie Madison picking up that one.
You're starting to see those intentional fouls, and so they have fouls to give, I believe. And so the Knights will just get it back in offensive possession. But they're just going to keep fouling until they get the ball back or until they send the Knights to the free throw line.
Coach Adam Warnerberg deciding to take a timeout before his team gets an opportunity to inbound. Knights lead 63-60 over top of the Seahawks St. Mary's. Seahawks, despite the Knights' great shooting in this second half, found a way to stay in this game off some great shooting by Gina Seifert. Gina Seifert picking up her 4th foul. She has 21 points on the night. 2 leading scorers for the Seahawks St. Mary's. Gina Seifert with 21, 4 fouls, and Haley Purcell, who fouled out a couple of moments ago with 14. And as things heat up here in the Knight Arena, the Knights fans locked in and focused on this game, looking to see what happens next. Coach Adam Wernerberg doing the same, drawing up a play to ensure that his girls get the final shot and stay ahead of the Seahawks of St. Mary's. They're taking the floor now for the Knights. Kiara Ballum, Amanda Wood, Katie Garish, Nicole Muse, and Brindy Ballum to inbound. Get it into Amanda Wood. That's an immediate foul on Amanda Wood, and that foul goes against number 3, Gina Seifert. So the leading scorer for the Seahawks team picks up her 5th foul. She's done for the night. And what a shot that is for the Seahawks of St. Mary.
Amanda Wood to the line, shooting 2. And checking into the game for St. Mary's, number 20.
Seahawks now without their leading scorer. Without their top 2 leading scorers, Purcell and Seifert, both have 5 fouls on the night. But now Amanda Wood to extend this lead, and she does. Make it a 4-point lead for the Knights. Amanda Wood extending her reign to 17 points on the night with 7 rebounds. Amanda Wood, 2 for 2, bring her percentage now to 7 of 8. And a timeout taken by head coach C.K. Calhoun of the Seahawks. And again, give the Knights an opportunity to talk about what they need to do. We saw a couple players check in. Number 24, Angel Tuisavera, checking in for the Knights. She's a defensive specialist for this Knights team, and that's what Coach Adam Wernerberg needs. Entering the final 20 seconds here at the Knight Arena. Coach Adam Wernerberg in this situation. He's up by 5. It's a 2-possession game. So he has everything in his favor, and his team shooting 76% from the foul line. So a decent percentage. St. Mary's overall shooting better than the Knights. St. Mary's 3 of 6 from the 3-point line and 39.6% from the field. Knights need to keep the Seahawks at bay, and they have a great upper hand now that the leading scorer for the Seahawks, Gina Seifert, is out.
They just need to be careful, though, because the Seahawks have shown they are capable of quick scoring. And so 20 seconds is nothing. You have to play lockdown defense. You have to maintain ball control, get to the free throw line, and close things out.
Need to close things out. Like we mentioned it before, the 2 leading scorers for the Seahawks team out with 5 fouls. Inbounding now, Cameron Mangold defending the inbound pass. 6'3", Katie Garish. Gets it into Matheson. Final 20 seconds. Matheson drives on Barnes. Matheson gets the foul call. She'll make her way to the line to shoot 2. That foul call against Alexis Barnes.
23, Alexis Barnes, her third personal.
Matheson will get to shoot 2.
Janie Matheson shooting 2.
Matheson, 7 points, 4 rebounds on tonight. She's 1 of 4 from the foul line, 25%. So numbers would say that it's safe. If she misses her first, keep it a 5-point game. Now checking in for the Knights, number 20, Amanda Wood, and number 30, Kiara Ballum. Amanda Wood having a great game with 18 points on the night.
Starting to see that substitution method that Coach Warrenberg likes to utilize. Put in defenders for the defensive possessions in the last final seconds, and the same thing with offense.
Matheson made it a 4-point game. Then a quick foul on the floor against the Seahawks. That foul call goes against number 4, Janie Matheson. So Janie Matheson picks up her 3rd foul of the night. It'll send Brindy Ballum to the line to shoot 2 to extend this lead into a 2-possession game. Ballum no good on her first. Brittany Ballum on the night, 3 of 4 from the foul line. Checking in for the Knights, Tua Severa and number 23, Alexis Barnes. Needs to hit Alexis Barnes, a senior, standing at 5'9" from Oceanside, California. So Ballum good on her second. Make it a 5-point game, 2-possession game for the Seahawks. Knights with the upper hand. Roby against Ballum. Quick 3 by Cheney. That shot no good, out of bounds. Ball belongs to the Knights. Final 5 seconds. Amanda Wood checking back into this game along with Kiara Ballum. Final 5 seconds, 5-point lead, a game of 5s. Gets it into Nicole Muse, and looks like the Seahawks just let the clock wind down, and they do. Knights pull it off against the Seahawks of St. Mary's after a tough-fought game. Knights win 66-61 over St. Mary's and have a chance to get the number 1 seed back from the captains of Christopher Newport and have home court advantage throughout the entire CAC tournament. Overall, it's a great game, but needs to be said, Amanda Wood leading all scoring for the Knights, 18 points, 7 rebounds. Next closest, Brindy Ballum with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. 9 different Knights getting their names on the stat sheet. A great showing, a great team game by the Knights. And as they do when they win, taking that victory lap they so very much deserve. Greeted by Knights fans for a great win. Dawson standing along with Coach Wardenberg. Dawson, what do you have for us?
I'm with Coach Wardenberg, and Coach, after the way the first quarter started and how your girls responded in the second quarter and the second half, what can you say about their effort in this game?
It was just a really good team effort from everybody. I mean, we got some really big contributions from everybody on our team, and we've talked about it all year long, and that's kind of what makes this special is we truly believe that anybody can come in at any moment and make a big impact, and today that proved it right again.
Yeah, definitely, especially Amanda Wood coming with 18 points. And also this being the last regular season game, what does this mean for you guys to get this win going into CAC play?
You know, it's huge. I mean, our team has accomplished so much already this year, and we were talking before the game just about everything that we've done as a team so far this year, and a lot of firsts for our programs. I mean, for us to finish second in conference, and I think the best we've ever finished is 7th or 8th place even, and that's just a testament to how good our players are and how invested they are in the process and how invested they are as a team and how much we can really do. And I'm proud of them, and we have at least 2 home games next week and maybe a third, but our goal is to win that conference championship, and we're here to do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Go Knights.
And next up, we'll have Amanda Wood. All right, so Amanda, congratulations on the win. You had 18 points tonight. What was going through your mind as you're starting to hit those shots and help your team in those clutch moments?
Well, you know, I honestly had been missing a lot in the beginning, but Coach Adam is so great. He was just like, just keep shooting the ball. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep shooting, and I know that a few of them were going to go in. So that was the idea, and we just wanted to pull out the win.
Absolutely, and that you guys did. And also, this being the last regular season game before CAC conference play, what does it mean for you guys to get this win right before the tournament?
I think it's huge. You know, the last couple of games we've been like here a little bit, there a little bit, so it's good to get our momentum going again so that when we get into the tournament week, we're ready to go.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on the win. Enjoy it. Next up, Katie Garish. Congrats on the win, Katie. Tonight, scoring wasn't very easy to come by in the first quarter, but you girls responded so well in the second quarter and the second half. What can you credit that to?
The teamwork. Honestly, we got a lot of open shots for girls that aren't normally shooting, but that play is so much more fun when we have different players contributing those points. It's a lot funner game.
Absolutely, and you also had to play through a very scrappy game, a very scrappy team in St. Mary's, very hands-on. How were you girls able to respond to that as far as like your motivation in this game?
Oh, it pushed us. Because the refs weren't calling anything, we knew we were just going to have to, make up something. We were going to have to deal with it. And that's what drives us to, win. So.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the win. Enjoy this one. Chris, back to you.
Thank you so much, Dawson. And with that, that'll do it for us here at the Knight Arena. But stay tuned as the Knights men's basketball team gets their shot at the Seahawks of St. Mary's. Again, we thank you so much for joining us. Knights win 66.